So I want to bring back one of my favorite farm strats from several leagues ago, which is the Deli Orb farming. Now, the strat has changed quite a bit this league. There's like an optimal way to run this now. It is still very profitable and consistent, and it's really fun to run. And while it is not as ludicrous as some of these strats that this league has seen, but it is still a very like top tier strats in my opinions. When farming the strats, you can easily make well over 1 divine per map, and you will get a bunch of stuff that is very easily liquidated on the currency exchange. No, prior to this league, the strat itself is very consistent profits. It has like one big downside, I would say, is that it doesn't really have a really good jackpot drop. But with the addition of Astrolabe into the league mechanics, I do believe it is one of the more fun strats to run because you get to also have a chance at the jackpot drops. If you don't really know what is Astrolabe, let's talk a little bit about it. Now, Astrolabe is a currency item that is added this league. You can apply this onto a map on one of the quadrant on the map itself, and it's gonna create a shape regions of 6 to 9 adjacent map. Think about this as like a chain of map that you have to run, but not in any particular order. And because in this strats we are taking synthesis stability, that means you can continuously keep running one map, which in our case we are running City Square for several different reasons. Now, when you finish running this chain of map, you are going to get access to a memory vault, and depending on the quadrant that you are on, we are running the strats in City Square, which means our region is going to be northeast, and the northeast region will give us access to the Zealot Vault, which means that you have chance to get the greater multi-strike support, which is right now 60 divine a pop, and also you get access to valuable gems like Empower, Enhance, and Enlighten. Obviously, Enlighten will be the most expensive one. Don't expect that you will get this, but it is one additional layer of jackpot that you can potentially get. And beside that, the Astrolabe also add the league mechanic onto your map as well. So in our case, we are running the Enshrouded Astrolabe, which means we get Delirium Mirror on our maps for free on every map that we run. It is really up to you whether or not you want to run the Astrolabe, because it is also quite expensive. But if you want to run the strats without the Astrolabe, make sure that you adapt the Atlas passive points a little bit to make sure that you have 100% chance for Delirium Mirror on every map. If you choose to run with the Astrolabe, spiked into synthesis stability, and this will allow you to keep running City Square because it will collapse a different map in the shape region. Now onto the setup of our strats, and the map of choice here is City Square. You want to run City Square because of the layout of the map is in a square, which means that it's really good for us to clear the whole map twice. You can spawn the Mirage anywhere on the maps, and the mirror is gonna be next to the Mirage, and you can run the map in a square and then go kill boss all the same. It is a very good layout for this particular strat and for the Mirage. Now, traditionally, you run this on Trend, which is like a very linear maps, and it's very easy to get to 9 reward tiles, which is why it is so good. On the City Square, you can't really get to 9 reward tiles, but getting to 8 reward tiles are like very simple. You can just kill everything, get to 7 rewards, and then go in the center and kill the boss, and that way you consistently can get 8 rewards. And again, the Mirage, whenever it spawns on strengths, it can spawn on like the middle of the road, which is really awkward because you can't go back and forth and clear. So there's also that. The map that you want to run, you always want to run maps with area contain Empower Mirage, which cover the entire map. This is really good because we want to full clear the maps and go kill the boss for the rewards. And this makes sure that you can do that. But you don't really have to roll the maps for anything crazy because we are farming new tiles. So the map only need to have this, and then you can probably up and go. Really, you don't have to do anything crazy on the maps. And these maps are not too expensive. I think it's like 40-50 chaos depending on the time of the day. But it's well worth it because, again, you get to run this strat twice. And on the Scarab, this is like the default setup. Last league or like several leagues ago, it all the same. You want to have at least one Scarab of Mania to increase the reward meter fill. This way we'll be able to get to 7 reward tiles, and then we'll kill the boss. And then Paranoia, you want to have as many as you can. The sweet spot is kind of like 1 Mania, and then we have 4 Paranoia Scarab, which, because we are farming loot tiles, so for each encounter you get 2 additional reward tiles. So that way, after you get to 8 rewards, you get like a bunch of loot tiles, loots, which is good. And City Square, you want to apply the, always have the Astrolabe on here, because it's gonna give you Delirium Mirror, and you just keep running City Square in and again. And in our setups, we are running with, like I said, the keystone right here, so you can continuously running City Square without any issues. And the Atlas tree is also quite simple. What we are looking for on the Atlas tree is we want to have Nico. Now Nico for me is important because it gives you the Sulfite Intoxication, which give you increased damage, move speed, and it lasts 60 seconds. These map those relatively quick. So anytime that you see a sulfite, you can just quickly click on it for some extra boost of damage. And then you want to run it with Shrine as well, so we are taking Shrines, a few Nico nodes, all these Shrines. Shrine adds natural spawn monster onto the map, so it also helps fill the meter, the reward meter from Delirium that much faster. Also the same for Ritual. We just want to like get all the Ritual nodes to have chance for Ritual to spawn. And then this one right here, give 4 Ritual Altars. Rituals and Shrines are natural spawn monsters, so it helps with adding the reward tiles, and then all of these are mandatory for you to, well, just have Delirium. And the fog in here is this, and if your build is not fast enough, you want to take this one. I say just take this one anyway, because we do have plenty of points. And then you can choose the altar of your choice. I don't think it really matters too much because this is not like a strict altar farming strat, so I just go for Syrian Exile because it's like right here on the path that I'm pathing to. And then, yeah, just get all these Delirium nodes. These are really good, especially this one, because you get +1 to the count of rewards on map completion. And then, like I said, keystone right here. This one added packs of monster. But yeah, overall, pretty simple setup in my opinion. So you're just like running the maps very fast, and then you get the reward tile. Let's talk a bit on the loot breakdown of the strats, and this is all the loots I got from 20 maps. Usually I would run a bit more, but I already run a lot of the strats already, and I can tell you it is like very consistent profit anyway. So yeah, the loot itself is very easy to liquidate. Like I said, you get 11 divine in just Delirium Orb, and then you get a bunch of currency, like a bunch of stack deck, which you can easily liquidate with divine drops, ember, and a bunch of other stuff. Refracting fog is something that only drop in Delirium Mirror that you run in the Mirage. And surprisingly, I only got 1 out of 20 maps, but I think the average should be a little bit more. So yeah, we got quite lucky in this department. We got a few lucky drop in Scarabs, and then fragments. We got a few black barrier balls. These are quite common, and technically it should be better if you run Disruptive Blade with this. But yeah, black barrier is really good still. And then Simulacrum, these fragments. The rest is like minimal, I guess. Probably I'm gonna still liquidate all of them, and then yeah, it comes down to about 32 divine in revenue. And then for the investment cost, we have 20 Mirage map at around 50 C each. They are gonna cost you about 1000 chaos. And then the Mania Scarab, I bought 20 for 80 C. I bought 80 Paranoia Scarab for 640 C. I bought 4 Enshrouded Astrolabe and used all of them for 460 C. And then that comes down to just shy of 7 divine investment and at a rate of 300 to 1 chaos. And with a revenue of 32 divine, we come down to about 25 divine profit. And that is easily just over 20 divine per hour, because each map tech needs around 3 minutes and 3.5 minutes to run. And overall, I think it's a pretty great strategy, pretty profitable. This strat is also now available in my spreadsheets, which have all the farm, so if you need quick reminders, make sure you also check out the spreadsheet as well. It will be in the description of this video, and with that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the videos, and I'll see you in the next one.